but one of the biggest things for me is having a teammate every week, having someone to push you or someone to learn from, learn information. Having teammates like Jimmy Johnson and Dale Earnhardt Jr. last week was huge. We learned a lot from them. I learned that, hey, my car is capable of this. I need to push it harder. And then on the flip side, I learned sometimes that, hey, my car was not capable of this. I need to back it down and not wreck. And, they bring so much to the table, and it really helped me a lot.
Do you feel any pressure? This is something I was wondering about. I heard Dale Earnhardt Jr. talking about, we don't want to wreck race cars. We want to try to get finishes. And he said that several weeks. And as a young driver like yourself, you're an aggressive driver, and you've got the ability to get to the front and possibly win. But does that play in the back of your mind? I mean, if you have a great race car, are you going out, going as hard as you possibly can go, or are you thinking in the back of your mind, well, man, I better tear up this race car. I don't want to make Junior mad.
Well, running full-time in a nationwide series, we are running for points, so you have to be smart no matter what. And no, I don't want to disappoint Dale, but the expectations are here to win, and that's what we want to do. We want to do that for the Navy, who's never been in victory lane, by the way. We want to get them in victory lane. That's a big goal for us.
Sure.
And we've been getting closer at doing that. But when it comes down to it, if we have a car that can win and we have to make that decision of taking a chance, we're going to take that chance.
Why are you a better race car driver today than you were this time last year?
Just experience. That's the biggest thing. The more you can run, the better you're going to get. There's a huge shortage of nationwide drivers that have experience, nationwide only drivers. And one of the biggest things for me that really hurts a lot of the nationwide drivers is the lack of track time on any given weekend. The track time disparity between the Cup level and the nationwide level really hurts us a lot. So when you have experience, it doesn't seem to affect you as much. This is my 4th time here at Dover, 3rd time in a nationwide car, and I can go out on the track now and be comfortable. It doesn't take me an hour and a half to get comfortable now.
Right. Okay.
Discounting what happened last weekend, do you feel like the Cup guys are giving you some respect? Are they treating you the way you hope they would?
Every driver's different. Jeff Burton, by far, shows me more respect on the racetrack than anyone else. And, I enjoy racing with him. But there's other drivers who do not, who are the exact opposite.
I was just thinking about talking about that and the fact that we probably ought to shift gears and talk about what happened last week for a second, because I would be very, very neglectful if I didn't do that.
Caution for the 11th time tonight.
I'm guessing that contact on the racetrack was not accidental.
Denny knocked the fender off his car. I'm not happy about that.
83 looking out for his teammate, not going to take it. They're mixing it up down in the pits there.
Somebody's going to punch somebody.
For some reason, he picked my back tires up in the middle of 1 and 2, pulled up beside me, so I retaliated.
He doesn't like when guys race him hard. Well, that's the sport, and I raced him hard, and he didn't think that was cool, so he decided to take my left front fender off.
You throw a rock, I'm going to throw a concrete block back. Her brand's chances of having a good run, but it just tore the fender up. I mean, there was no excuse in it. Don't impress me by having your whole crew over here. Bring the driver over here and let us talk about it.
NASCAR handed out some punishment to members of the Junior Motorsports team for that Charlotte post-race thing. Crew Chief Tony Uri Sr. fined and placed on probation under NASCAR's rule that the crew chief's responsible for the actions of his crew. Crew member Jordan Allen fined and placed on probation. Crew member Michael Sandlin fined and suspended for this race. The 2 crew members disciplined for refusing to follow a directive from a NASCAR official and inappropriate contact with a NASCAR official. I don't care what the sport is, you can't bump the referee.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. that guy in the center is the one who must have started. He got thrown out, Brad.
They got after him.
Yeah, the rest of them got fined.
Bad.
They sent him home, man.
All right. Brad Keselowski's with us, drive the Navy Chevrolet. Obviously one half of the equation there at the end of that race last Saturday night. You've had a week to look back on it, and obviously there's probably been a bunch of people talk to you about it. As you've replayed anything in your mind, is there anything you would have done differently? During the race, after the race?
No, not really. No, I was really happy with our whole race. We just had a great car the whole race, and we raced Denny hard, but that's, again, like I said in my interview, that's what we do. That's what the sport is, and that's what puts the fans in the stands and the viewers on TV, and, we're here to put on a show, and that's part of it.
One thing I want to know, who bumped who first? When did that all start?
Yeah, we can't quite clear that up, can we?
That's kind of a long story. I mean, it was...
No, get to the point now.
It's raining. We got a long time.
Well, it was a sequence of events. It really started on lap 1. I started 12th. I believe Denny started like 9th, and the outside line moved on the start, and I think Carl Edwards was slow in front of him, and I went to the outside of Carl, and Denny went to the inside of him, and we made it 3 wide, and the yell came out just as I cleared both of them, and Denny didn't like that, but and that's where it really started, and that's when our spotters started talking to each other and like, hey, what's this, what's that, how come everybody's doing this? And
so there's some screaming going on at that point.
Yeah,
right?
it started pretty early,
but no hitting yet,
but
right?
no actually, Denny and I raced all night, and we raced clean under green, so I had a great time racing with him, so I was a little surprised that that he was upset with me as he was.
Well, how do you feel? Dale Earnhardt Jr. came out this week and said that he thought you did everything appropriately from start to finish, and he likes the way you handled it. What kind of shot of confidence is that to you and your race team as you go forward?
Well, I hadn't heard that before now, so it's a really good shot of confidence. But, yeah, that is. I mean, just to have his support, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Dale Jr. does not need to own a nationwide team to be successful. He puts a mark on the sport where he doesn't need to be an owner. Right. He's here because he wants to be here, because he wants to win, and he wants to have a team that he can be proud of. And to know that he is proud of us, that makes me feel good.
Outstanding.
During the race bit, I don't know if you saw the tape of the race when Junior was behind you and you were leading, and he's on the radio to the spotter saying, "Hey, tell him." Oh, never mind. He'll figure it out. And, I mean, did any of that get back to you? What were you thinking?
Yeah, after the race it did. But, obviously as a race car driver, you're always moving around in the race, always trying to adapt to the car, adapt to the track. And, he saw some things that, again, and he was right. I did pick up on it about a lap later, and it all worked out.
And what was it that he saw?
Well, my car was actually fairly loose, and, just trying to adapt to it, change your lines, and tighten it up to where you don't have to lift up off the corner.
Well, he obviously cares about you because he really got mad at Denny when that happened, and you tore your left front fender off, and then he ran up there running to him and tore his nose up. So there was a lot of complaining going on. But one thing I do like about what you did, though, I mean, we got Clint Boyer coming on a little bit, and I watched Clint do this before. Nobody's going to take just getting roughed up. They rough you up, you got to come back and, let them know that, hey, you're tough, and you're not going to take that. Draw a line in the sand. You mess with me, I'm going to pay you back, buddy.
Well, that is important.
And you did that, and I think that you got to make that point, Alan. If you don't, these guys just drive right over you. Yeah.
Well, the biggest thing is, my dad taught me at an early age. One of the first things he told me when I was racing factory stocks at the local level, I was 16 years old. I weighed all of about 120 pounds, and I was racing some guys that were at least twice that weight. And the biggest thing he told me is when you're in that race car, you all weigh 3,400 pounds. You are just as tough as he is. Don't take anything from him.
Until you get out of the car.
Until you get out of the car. So don't get out of the car.
Let me tell you what you do then. You run like crazy.
That's right. And I had a couple times, but when you're in that car, you're all the same.
Brad, we got to thank you for taking the time and stepping out in the rain here to visit with us and being willing to talk about what happened last weekend, your season so far. Starting 5th when we get the race going. Good luck. Can today be the day win number 1 comes?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're very happy with our U.S. Navy Chevrolet, and I think this car can win.
Very good. Brad Keselowski here with us at Dover, driver of the Navy Chevrolet. It's a racetrack that's had a lot of first-time winners at it. He'd be a great candidate to be one when we get this race going in a little while.